It's fun.
What's up, Buckeye Nation? You're tuned in to the Buckeye Cast, coming at you loud and proud, bringing strong opinions and salty humor to Ohio State football. These fellas were born and bred in the Buckeye State, and their brand of banter is guaranteed to entertain and excite you. But if you're not a Buckeye, don't bother. Visit us at thebuckeyecast.com and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at The Buckeye Cast to stay up to date on all things Ohio State football. And be sure to subscribe on iTunes, SoundCloud, or Stitcher. Now here's your host, Joe Warwick.
What's up, Buckeye Nation? Here we go again. We got a big Beat Sparty week coming up for you. I got my main man behind the wall up north, Sean Henry in Detroit.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
I got my other man, Jeff Warwick in Orlando.
What's up, brother? I'm here.
All right, let's get into this Maryland game recap. This is like a mirror image of the week before, almost. 62-3 outcome. Very nice to see.
Deja vu all over again.
Right. You can change the uniforms. You're not going to change the Buckeyes' offense rolling through your ass. Back-to-back weeks of dominance. I think this is creating confidence in the players right when you need it. You could argue that this opponent was much lesser than Nebraska. I'll listen to that, but I think just the all-out outcome is huge in November. Gearing up for Sparty and then those sons of bitches. So let's touch on our highlights. What was your highlight this week coming out of the game, Jeff?
I think they came out knowing they wanted to get Curtis Samuel involved. It just the way the game unfolded, they just didn't need to later on. I mean, the first play of the game, changing formations. Curtis Samuel hits for like 20 yards, something like that, I think, and then they come off back to Noah Brown. Trying to get their playmakers involved early, which is good to see. Just the way the game unfolded, just domination, and then we were able to do what we needed to do: rest our players, rest Mike Weber. It did it on the road after the 3:30 game on the road after a big night game at home, big recruiting weekend, the whole deal. No letdown whatsoever. Offensive line's looking better now. I know it's Maryland, so there's not much to read in there, but the offensive line's looking a lot better too. So
yeah.
A lot of positives. Positives to take away.
What'd you take away, Sean?
Well, I think the biggest thing you could take away from the Maryland game was how ugly those fucking uniforms were. Those were, gosh,
God.
It was like blood red. The defense had to be. It's like sharks in the water, man.
My father-in-law was over last weekend, and he walks through the living room. He goes, "Jesus Christ, who the hell are they playing?" I said, "This is Maryland, Bill." He goes, "That looks fucking horrible," and he kept walking.
Yeah, no, that
non-football fan, just a casual observation walking through the room.
Yeah, quick take is all you need.
They lost right when they walked out of the tunnel with them fucking uniforms on.
Yeah, man.
But no, I mean it was the beat down. It was perfect. I mean, like you said, we're gonna get Samuel involved, but when he scores every third time he touches the ball, it's hard to keep him in there for 4 quarters. And I'm with it. Rest that guy. You don't need to play him. I did have one little bitch, and I don't know if we'll touch on it here in a little bit, but Weber's nursing the shoulder or whatever. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but one of McCall's first runs, he kind of went down hard on his shoulder, and he was holding that one arm of his gimpy the rest of the game. You watch it close. I mean, he was still running hard, playing hard, but I thought that fucking clavicle snapped on him too. And when you're up that far against Maryland, I just think that what are we saving that Williams kid's redshirt for? Is he hurt or something? Why can't we even get another guy even deeper than McCall and burn some runs with him?
Yeah, Joe, you kind of alluded to it last week.
Yeah,
I mean, you're a little more in depth on the injury front, but
Herb said last week that he was dealing with a shoulder injury too. So this is like a contagion thing. I don't know.
Did you notice the shoulder though?
Yeah,
I mean, it was.
Yeah, but then he bounced back and he had a great second half.
He did know, and he ran hard, but I think he did it because he's so young and he just wants to prove himself. And I think he he manned up. I got a ton of respect for him, but I think he just killed himself, man.
And he was
playing hard, and he was babying that arm the whole time.
Yeah,
it was obvious.
But they still kept him in there at punt returns late in the game. So, yeah, I hope that it was just something minor and not a AC joint kind of issue like Weber's dealing with. That's a good point.
If the coaching staff, I'm sure they're fully aware. They monitor all those players, the health and everything. If they didn't seem concerned, it might have just been he might have just landed bad on the hip or got a little stinger or something. I don't think we should be concerned about it. Another thing too, it's a bad thing.
But why not give Dontre Wilson some more carries then?
That's the thing is they never run him between the tackles. They don't run him out of the backfield anymore. They don't even give him the wildcat snaps.
I don't know why we don't have him running out of the backfield, unless his foot's bothering him.
Dontre Wilson isn't Samuel, but Dontre Wilson is a pretty good fucking football player. I wouldn't mind seeing him get some more carries. Yeah. I mean, he used to get plenty of carries.
He was running the wildcat before Samuel.
Yeah.
But he did get dinged there. I believe it was third quarter, where they had to help him off the field. Looked like it might have been a concussion protocol kind of thing. I'm not sure. I didn't hear
smacked his head on the turf. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't hear Herb talk about him this week in any of the injury updates, so I don't know if he actually had a concussion or what the deal was there. But I think they just kept him out of action after that.
And us having such a young team the way we do, there isn't anyone else. I mean, we mentioned all the names. After Williams, he's the heir apparent to Weber. I mean, Herb thinks he's the real deal. He's going to be their main back.
Yeah, McCall will be an age.
That all shakes. It depends on what we get in this recruiting class.
Herb thinks Williams is going to be. He thinks Williams is going to be the next Weber.
He was heavily recruited. Mm-hmm. He was a Wisconsin. Really? He was a Wisconsin.
So what?
And then opened his recruitment back up. But a lot of schools wanted him.
What does he envision for McCall then? He thinks McCall will take the Samuel role.
I'm guessing. Yeah, if I had to guess, yeah.
They got to slap some weight on him though.
Yeah, he's 180. Probably 180.
He runs hard though. He runs hard. I love that kid.
Yep. Yeah, imagine him with 15, 20 pounds,
and our backup plans are like kids like Tyjon Lindsey and stuff like that. Our backup plans. Depends if we got Akers this year coming in this year, Cam Akers or J.K. Dobbins.
But why are you not burning someone's red shirt? To me, and that's what it feels like with Williams. And if he's hurt, then that's fine. That's a different issue. But why would you save a guy's? Because if you are going to be a fifth-year senior at Ohio State and think you're going to be the starter, I mean, I guess maybe. But
he's probably looking at Weber leaving.
There's too many new guys coming in that are the best in the country.
Yeah.
If you're not the running back before your fifth year, you're not going to be the running back.
Yeah, we've seen that play out recently, and it hasn't worked out well. Guys have just had to transfer. So, yeah, keeping on the Maryland recap before we get too sidetracked, I want to talk about things like 7 of 13 on third downs, very nice. A little miffed at the one fourth down we couldn't convert. That was a terrible play. Offensive line got blown the fuck up.
I felt like they weren't even trying on that play.
I think it was. I thought it was a bad play.
That was the worst run play we've run all year.
Yeah.
I've watched that play like 7 times, and it's like, gosh, that was just. It's like JT wasn't trying. No one was trying on that play.
Yeah. Yeah. So Almost 600 yards of offense again this week. Like I said before, almost a mirror image of last week's performance. D kept us under 200 yards allowed again. God damn it. That is fucking strong. I don't care who you're playing against, man. This is college football. These
they're
are
all
D1.
on scholarship.
Exactly.
But hey, I will. I'm going to throw a thing out there for the Maryland people that don't listen to us. That they did get jobbed on that touchdown. That was a touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of my flaming bullet points I'm going to touch on too. In their direction, anyway. No turnovers by the Buckeyes. I'd like to see that. That's good to have in November. And I got to hit on Sean's boy, who has been under the motherfucking microscope for at least a month, Raekwon McMillan, middle linebacker, Ohio State University. Huge day. You can't deny this guy. But look at these numbers: 10 tackles, 1 sack, 2 TFLs, and he hawked that QB from the middle of the field to the sideline without gaining a yard. That was a ball play. Henry.
You know it. I've been on Raekwon McMillan the whole year, and about 3 weeks ago, I put him on the list still. My microscope had been on him all year, and he started breaking out. And I'm telling you right now, Raekwon McMillan keeps this up. The way he's played, not just this game, the last 3 games, watch him compared to his first few games where he was tentative. I think he was just trying to digest it all. You watch him now, he is a total fucking difference in his defense. And I'm telling you what, if he continues to play like this, we have the best defense in the country, hands down. No one's even fucking close. Raekwon is a beast, especially with Baker there next to him.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So you think Raekwon's kind of playing for his draft status at this point?
I don't know about that.
It's hard to say what his motivation is. I mean, you can't say he's just motivated by his draft. I think maybe a fire got lit under him. Maybe he's playing just. He's not thinking so much. Maybe the coaches finally got to him.
I think he listened to this podcast. I think he heard me talking shit about him.
It might have been. Something had to light a fire under his ass.
I'm telling you.
I'll show you, Sean Henry.
Exactly.
The time. Yep. The timeline really fits, honestly. The way his game stepped up and the way that your critique of him went in line, I've seen nothing but improvement since.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. He's playing great the last few games. He really is. Gosh, and I knew it. If he just let it loose like he's been doing, he's so fast. He's everywhere. You're right, Jeff. That play where he hawked him down, shit.
Yeah, just playing more freely. Instead of thinking more, he's just reacting and playing football. Maybe something in their defensive call got changed where he's not just he's just playing football now. He's not trying to think too much about directing people and getting the lineups. You never know. Maybe he just needs to be simplified.
He's even just watch the way that he's attacking the holes and meeting people. I mean, he smoked a couple people in this game. I mean, smoked them. I mean, he's playing downhill right now, and I love it.
Yeah, I think we've had problems previously this year with teams coming out and running things that were not on tape at all, like Wisconsin with that jet sweep. They never ran that the entire year. They probably won't run it the rest of the goddamn season. So I think those were the things that were keeping Raekwon back, because they're showing looks and plays that had never been on tape before, just to defend him if I need to.
Yeah, and he's probably thinking, he's like, oh shit, what is this? I gotta get the guys in the right spot.
It was always there. It was always there with him. I just think that he let his mental game down a little bit, and it slowed him down, and I think he's through it. He went through a patch, man, I'm telling you. Okay. And I love it.
All right. Well, you guys have to side with me on this one. Marshawn Lattimore gets catch of the game on that pick on the sideline.
Watch the quarterback's eyes, man. They don't lie.
Yeah, he got both feet down. That looked like an NFL receiver right there. That was a sweet.
He's so good, man.
He is so good. I know. Well, he's going to start for freaking 1 year, and he's listed as co-starter all year. He doesn't even have the position locked down. And he's going to be first-round draft pick.
Right.
Like, that's what Ohio State come to.
And they're talking early pick.
Yep.
Like I don't think there's a question that he's leaving at this point, because that NFL draft grade is going to come out and it's going to say early first round. See ya.
Gotta go. You gotta go. Why would you stay?
Yeah, I wouldn't knock him for it. Hell no.
No. So that was sweet. That was my play of the game, honestly.
Yeah, that was good. I like some Lattimore. That kid is just. He's been good all year.
Cleveland kid, tough as fuck. He'll come up and nail your ass in the run game too. Kid loves to hit. He could almost be a
safety. Like him at first.
Yeah.
I did not like him when he came in at first. I thought, a little prima donna bitch. And, I mean, that guy, he shows out. I like him.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a pretty good follow on Twitter, too. He's kind of an entertaining dude.
Is he?
Like, sometimes he tweets like late night. He's like, just looking for, like throwing out some wanting to hook up on the DL type.
Yeah.
Like things like he's like, any girls want to swing through? He just leaves it at
that. Let me slide into your DMs.
Yeah, right. He's like, who wants to slide tonight?
My man.
Yeah. As long as it don't affect his play on the field, I don't give a fuck. So,
clean it up. Keep it off the social media. Fucking millennials drive me fucking crazy, man. Clean that shit up.
Yeah. Somebody's watching. There's always somebody watching.
But luckily, you don't see, because I follow a lot of the football players. Just because I like to see, kind of where their heads are at, if there's distractions and shit like that. And most of them are pretty plain and pretty clear cut, or as far as keeping it. They don't get too, they don't make too many stupid statements. You don't hear about a lot of bullshit or taking pictures with fucking blunts in the background and stupid shit like that. So
yeah, that's a good point. This is a point I've been trying to hold back from putting out there, because I always live by the announcer jinx thought, and we have not had anybody in trouble yet this year.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, because I know somebody's going to get arrested tonight.
I just knocked on my my nice oak coffee table here. So
yeah. So I'm bracing myself, but I think we got a good fucking team of good guys that aren't stupid for the most part.
I think JT made the mistake last year. Yep. I think that really cost us, probably a season. I think JT's got to be pretty level-headed on that, and he's obviously the team leader, and can be a good leader in that regard. You guys, keep your fucking heads on here. Don't do. I mean, I know it's tempting. Shit, those guys.
Yep. But that could have been a lesson for the younger guys,
I think.
So, yeah, we touched on McCall. He needs to put on some weight, but I love those swing passes in the flat. They had a greatly timed swing pass out to the left flat that he caught right in front of the linebacker and just blew by him. That was a great pass, 30, 40 yards I think he went for.
McCall's exciting. He could be a starter.
He's the future. I mean, after Samuel goes, I think McCall's the guy at the H, and it'll be interesting to see him and Weber possibly in the backfield. But Samuel, 9 touches. This is the time of the year where you don't bitch about him getting his 15, which was some kind of median we were all aiming for. But when you're getting 3 touchdowns, like Sean said, 1 every 3 touches, I'll take that. He is a TD machine. Unfortunately, he is still the only consistent deep threat, which I continue to kick the ball.
What about the one he blew? I actually have a little note on that. Gosh, I can't believe Curtis Samuel did not catch that other touchdown.
Hit him in the face, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was frustrating, but he's the only guy going deep. and getting open.
I know it's so unlike him. To me, anytime that he does anything bad, it just amazes me because he's so fucking good.
Yeah.
He's the best player in college football in my opinion. I haven't watched this kid that's playing right now too much, but Samuel, I'll take Samuel over anybody.
Oh, for sure. I do need to get your takes on his punt returning. What do you think, Jeff? Make you feel better? Not?
Yeah, dude, he's hard as fuck to tackle, man. He just makes he got like a 6-yard return. He made 6 guys miss, and he was like in a like a 10 square foot area and made 6 guys miss. I mean, I worry about him getting injured, of course, but
what about those lunging catches he had to make, kind of just falling forward?
I trust him. Okay. You know, I don't know. I think he'll be fine.
Like I said last week or the week before, whenever the fuck I said it, there's someone else that can catch that ball. I don't want Curtis Samuel doing it, especially against Maryland. Maybe in a different game, in a playoff game, something like that. Okay, fine. You put your best player back there, but the odds of something happening are slim to none anyway on a punt return. You got a ton of other athletes that their chances are probably just as good as Samuel's to return one. I say you put someone else back there.
It seems to me
I don't object. I don't object to putting someone else back there, of course. But I mean, I trust Samuel. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing anybody with any kind of explosiveness back there with hands.
It seems to me that's hands are the issue, and Samuel seems to have the best hands of the team. Am I crazy? Maybe.
No, I think he does. I think
outside of
he
Noah
has the
Brown,
best
maybe.
catching. I think he has the best catching ability.
I think if you got a KJ Hill or something like that, maybe back there.
I like him.
Look, like I said before, I mean, we got that wide receiver room. All those guys have returned punts. At the high school they played at, every single one of them was the punt returner probably.
Yeah. And some DBs.
Yeah, half the DBs, half the fucking linebackers. Everybody on that team was their punt returner in high school.
Fucking put Baker back there.
The punter might have been returning punts in high school.
Yeah. Put Baker back there. He was a running back.
He probably can't catch.
With his neck. That big-ass neck.
I know. But he brings it.
Yeah. He will look at you like a chicken.
Do you see how quick he closed? That reminded me of DB, man.
Oh,
At one play, he closed so quick.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, that quarterback did not have a chance.
Yeah, Fickle was talking about the Buckeyes playing the edge today and how Maryland tried to work the edges against us, and I agreed with him 100%. That's what we do. We set the edge and we string your ass out or hit you for a loss.
The one thing I noticed in that game, I said, keep trying to go wide on us. It'll work eventually. Just keep trying.
Because you got the horses.
Yeah, I'm like, just keep trying that corner. Keep doing it.
Yeah, that didn't go.
Just making it easy on us.
Yeah, so we had 10 players with catches. This is reminiscent of the beginning of the season when JT was spreading it around to everybody and their brother. KJ Hill stood out to me with his 5 catches from the third wide receiver position. It's good to see. I got a lot of confidence in this kid. I think a couple weeks ago when he had that big catch against Northwestern, I think that kind of gave him some momentum and some confidence, and he's been showing up and he's actually getting open and getting separation from that position, whereas other guys are still...
If you don't like KJ Hill, then I don't like you.
Yeah.
Because fuck KJ Hill, he's my new... How can you not like that guy?
Right.
The last few weeks, the guy's been solid as shit.
Yeah, and I'm not sure where he went for like that 6-game stretch where we just didn't see him on the field.
He was a little dinged early in the season. I don't know when that cleared up, but he definitely showed up the last 3-4 weeks. So it's good to see.
He looks like a solid kid. He blocks too.
Exactly, yeah. The whole wide receiver crew is doing a much better job of downfield blocking over the last 2 weeks. I I want to say it's not the opponent. I think it's them stepping up and doing more.
Yeah, that's got to be a want to. I mean, you got to want. McLaurin is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't half-ass block. You can't half-ass block a dude.
No,
you get exposed quickly out there. You're one-on-one in the open field. Yeah. So
and Meyer makes it's mandatory. I mean, if you don't block, you don't see the field, and maybe that's why we see some of these receivers that, maybe if there's no injury concern, where some guys you see them for a couple weeks and you don't see them. Yeah. Maybe in practice they were just missing too many blocks, and Meyer says, "I can't trust you out there."
A la Clark and Johnny Dixon, those guys, inconsistent playing time. I think that applies to those two clowns. I do want to touch on
Clark's one of the fastest too. I mean, Clark's a fucking burner.
Yep.
And you see him on a lot of deep routes, but I don't think we've connected on any this whole season.
Right. I don't think he can go get the ball the way you need to on a deep route.
Right.
Victor's the future of that.
Yeah.
Victor's the guy.
I was leading right into my next point. Is Kid had 2 great catches. Did you see the diving catch he made for that first down, and then the other great catch for the touchdown? Kid was laying out. He's got a wingspan, fucking 10 feet long, man.
I know. He
Kid is long.
Yeah, he is.
It was good to see. That's definitely the future at receiver. Somebody we can rely on, I think. He's got some mitts. So I just wanted to touch on the young guy there for a sec.
And they're all young. They're all young.
Yeah, but he's going to be a challenger for playing time next season, man, for sure.
I mean, our whole receiving corps could be coming back. Noah Brown's probably going pro. Everyone else is back, and plus we got some studs coming in.
Yeah, Dontre goes.
So, Dontre goes, but I mean, the majority. Everybody we're talking about: Victor, true freshman, KJ Hill, redshirt freshman.
What about Big Boy Ball leaping that dude?
That was nice.
I was gonna bring him up later. My struggles with that dude. I still don't really like him, but he has come on these last couple weeks.
I do. I like him.
He's had his issues, his unfortunate penalties at horrible moments, and then the drops. Just
blown assignments. Earlier in the year, blown assignments where you see us getting stuffed in the backfield, and he's looking at the offensive tackle while dudes are making, tackling our running back. I'm like, what? You're looking at him, wondering which one of you fucked up. I mean, too much of that. But the last couple weeks,
I've noticed at the blown assignments, bad routes, and stone hands,
and penalties.
The guy's balling.
Okay. Yep.
You're right, Sean. I'm sorry.
We're just nitpicking at this point, I think. So Dontre had that fumble, but didn't lose it. That's when he got dinged. I think KJ Hill came up with the recovery there. Dontre actually had a few good catches, timely, important plays for good yardage. Still not an important person in the offense. I think his days of actually being a somebody that matters are over in this offense.
I think if he mattered, he would have got 8 more carries this past week at running back.
Okay,
I agree.
Yeah, but and just to get into the O-line, like we talked about, horrible effort on that 4th and 3. They gave up a couple sacks too. I will say though, I did see on I believe it was ESPN's college football film room that Isaiah Prince has only given up 1 QB pressure in the last 3 games. So some of that
on pass plays. Yeah, I saw that when you sent it over to me, which is surprising because you don't really, you remember how bad he looked in that Penn State game,
right?
But
some of that could be the opponent too. That will mask a lot of your inabilities. So,
well, I mean, we haven't played the best D line we're gonna see all year yet. So this weekend will be one thing where Michigan State is strong is up front. In Michigan, of course, their front seven is tough. So the big tests are yet to come.
Well, not to slide into there yet, but just wanted to point out one other thing on this Maryland as well. Not only the O-line, which I think played well, but it's tough to tell because that's Maryland's D. But the D-line that wasn't getting sacks against Northwestern or anyone else, we got 5 sacks this week. I think 3 of them were from linebackers.
Yep.
But the D-line played their fucking ass off.
Yeah, you led me right into my next point, actually. You must be reading my mind from behind that huge wall.
Like a book.
So, yeah, D-line dominated. Everyone gets a tackle. You get a tackle, and you get a tackle, and you get a tackle. I get a tackle. We had 5 sacks, 12 TFLs, 27 guys got tackles. 27, man. That's like the third string getting in there.
There was a lot of young people in there.
Jesus.
Well,
H. Christ.
A lot of that does have to do with the Maryland, just the talent level. And Maryland suspended 3 of their best players the night before the game. So those kids were probably they checked out of it mentally anyways. Yeah. But but we did exactly what we were supposed to do. Completely dominate the game, blow them out, rest the big playmakers, play a lot of young kids, get a lot of people involved. Textbook on what you're supposed to do to an inferior opponent.
Yeah, but like we talked about, we own the edges all day long. They kept trying.
Got away healthy too.
Yeah, great point.
For the most part,
great point.
Got out of the game healthy.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was dinged. And we stiffened in the red zone. They got screwed on that QB sneak at the goal line. But
that was it. I mean, that certainly wasn't going to change nothing.
No, not at all.
No, that wasn't going to shift momentum.
No, it was early though, so you never know how that's going to affect the team if they could punch one in. But
then they might have pissed us off and we would have scored 80 like we could have.
Right. Penalties 6 for 55. It's not horrible. I want to know where that Pat Elflein personal foul was. Unfortunately, ESPN's crack camera staff couldn't replay that one.
No.
I want to know where the hell the center got a personal foul on a run play. So
yeah, and if they can't show it on tape, how bad was it? Like if it was egregious, they're going to have.
They didn't even identify what kind of personal foul, like clipping, blocking the back, or anything. It's like just personal foul. Like, did he use the N-word? What the hell?
It could have been offensive hands to the face. He could have gotten under jacked the dude's chin strap or his face mask up or whatever.
But then they should have said illegal hands to the face or something more identifiable than just personal foul.
Called your mother a whore, something.
Yeah.
Something.
Kick the ref in the dick.
That not allowed? You can't bring mothers into the conversation anymore?
Right.
I don't know what you can do, man. These snowflakes.
No shit.
The officiating in general is kind of come and go.
Yeah.
In college football in general, there's a lot of plays get overturned in college, whereas barely any in the NFL. Maybe it's just because the NFL refs, I'm sure, are better referees, but they don't like to. I don't think they like to show up the guys making the call in the field. In college, shit gets reversed all the time.
Yep.
And then the ones that you don't think, the ones that you think are obvious, like in that Wisconsin game, they don't overturn them, and you're like, well, I still don't understand the officiating.
Yeah. That's what I was going to touch on next. Honestly, this is like just my wrap up on this game. I got to know how the Human Resources Department at the Big Ten continues to employ the visually impaired at referee positions. This is like hiring a blind guy to operate a meat slicer. These guys have no clue what the fuck they're doing at Big Ten referee positions. This is preposterous. We've gotten screwed a couple times, and we've seen our opposing team in the same game get screwed. I don't know if it's the age of these guys or what, but take, no take.
Well, still one of the worst calls no calls I've seen all year was the no call pass interference on James Clark in the Penn State game. I don't know if you call in just about any kind of contact down the field. You remember when the dude raped his arm down?
Yeah.
And then without looking at the ball, because that seems to be the telltale sign on PI, is if you get your head turned around to make it even appear like you're seeing the ball, a lot more leeway. But if you don't have your head turned, you're almost going to get flagged every time. I just don't understand how at that juncture of the game that doesn't get called. I
don't mind some of the live action stuff that doesn't get called. It's always not get called. I mean, there's always that. I find it egregious when replays, and I feel like there's been more than one replays. It's like, what the fuck? How do you make that call after looking at it in slow motion on replay?
Yep. Yeah. What was that game? That the big fumble at the goal line. I was texting you guys about last weekend.
Yeah.
What was that game? Shit.
Oh, no, it was the Pitt Clemson game.
Exactly. Pitt was in control of that game the whole time, and they actually got that fumble at the goal line. All the camera angles were kind of blocking the ball by other body parts were blocking the goal line and the ball. So it was called a fumble on the field, and the dude returned it for 6.
Pitt. I went back and watched it.
And it's like, what the fuck? How do you overturn that? There's no camera angle. They even had an overhead shot from like the fucking blimp, and that was even less overturnable.
Let me put my tinfoil hat on and tell you.
Get in there.
How much fucking money is in college football and the betting, and we're talking about billions or millions or however fucking much money is involved in college football. Do you think, that $1 billion industry, that shit don't trickle down to try and maybe get refs? I'm telling you, I don't know if I don't fucking trust refs.
Well, I would
with Clemson versus an unranked opponent.
Yes.
We can't.
I would say just gambling might play into that before the colleges.
It would be easy to do. I mean, you hear about them paying off kids and stuff. You don't think they pay off refs, but you never hear about the refs. And the refs could have a hell of a lot more impact than one fucking player, that's for sure.
And those dudes don't get paid like full-time employees. These guys have, regular jobs. Yeah,
they're a fucking gym teacher. They're making fucking whatever.
Yeah. Here's $10K to, maybe help us out.
But they know they can get paid,
keep it fair.
250 grand on the side for the right outcome.
Keep
it
fair.
Is that a Rodney Dangerfield?
Yeah, keep it fair. Here you go. Yeah. So, all right. My bonus point to seal off this game was we haven't had to talk about the fucking kicker in weeks. This is a good thing.
I'm good with that.
Yeah. Enough said. We talked about him. Next point. Let's get into the pregame. Pow, 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 pow. Sparty.
I got double Michigan week. I'm all fucking jacked up here.
Yeah? You jacked up on Michigan? Michigan, by the way, has a ball game in front of them. Those dudes need to crawl out of the basement.
Yeah, Indiana will move the ball.
Yep.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see.
And no QB.
How Michigan's defense can hang with Indiana's
QB.
Offense.
Oh boy.
And what's the deal? Because I heard that the broken collarbone for Spate, but it's not. Of course, Harbaugh is not giving any information. He's like a fucking NHL hockey coach.
Yeah.
Lower body injury or upper body injury.
Trying to steal fucking Woody Hayes' look, dick. Get off our look.
That's a good point. Good point.
But I mean, so what is it? Is it confirmed it's a broken collarbone and he's done?
Yeah, he's done.
Because
he's
they're,
not.
They're,
coming
you know,
back.
they're okay. Well, because they're going back and forth on, he might still. It's unlikely he'll be available this weekend. Well, that's different than he's done for the season.
Well,
But if it's a broken collarbone, he's done.
It's Harbaugh being Harbaugh. Okay, it's a broken collarbone, but Harbaugh says he's questionable, quote unquote. Come on, that he's not fucking questionable, man. You can't walk out there with a broken fucking collarbone.
No, you
Ronnie
can't. But I mean,
go ahead.
Yeah.
Smash
is
the
it
other
confirmed
one.
though? It is confirmed that it's a broken collarbone.
Yeah.
I know that was reported, but
he's playing games.
I'm not just going off of what I heard, what his comment is, but
Yeah.
it didn't seem like it was overwhelmingly everybody saying it was a broken collarbone.
No, it is. He's
Okay,
just
well
playing.
then, yeah, fuck him. He's
He's
done.
playing games. So
I
into
think
this.
he just got his hymen broke, and he's fucking has to sit out a few games.
Yeah, well, maybe there is some blood on the field. Who knows? East Lansing, noon.
We like to call it East Landfill up here.
I like that. That seems appropriate. Lots of green and brown sewage. This is on ESPN. You guys all know the deal with Sparty. Sean, you know more than we do. Sorry to hear that. 3-7 record coming into this game.
I'm going to tell you right now, is Sparty not the best fucking 3-win team in the NCAA?
They might be.
Yes.
That's a
right?
good point. Yeah, on fire. If you can be on fire at 3-7, they're on fire.
Notre Dame's 3-7, and they beat the dog shit out of Notre Dame.
Ooh, wow.
That's right. Sparty's the best 3-win team in football, man, for sure.
And they're the best 1-6 team in the Big Ten.
That's like being the cutest kid at fat camp.
Oh, boom.
Yeah, I mean, Sparty could
Burn on
seriously
you,
be
fat kid.
like 5-6 right now, or like 5-5.
Yeah.
I don't know how they dropped off so fast, so quick. But I know what it. I mean, I know it's Harbaugh being back at Michigan, and now they're not getting all of Michigan's recruits anymore.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be
not
another
it.
year or two. I thought that would be another couple of years till they started falling off, because when Michigan was way down, D'Antonio was getting a lot of those kids that would have been going to Michigan, before.
Right.
But I don't know. They just where did all their talent go? They didn't. It's not like they put 13 starters in the NFL last year.
No, but they put some good guys in, and in their little run there, they had that Trey Waynes and that Drummond. They had some dudes in the secondary that were really good. They had a couple Calhoun D line, and Connor Cook had a pro arm that could get him out of jams.
That's true.
Tyler O'Connor can't get you out of a jam.
No, he's not a QB that's going to make plays.
No, if Michigan State ever goes down by more than 10 points, they're done.
That kid's just a game. He's a game manager. He's not a playmaker.
That's the game manager that came into Columbus last year too.
Well,
remember
that. Well, we handed them that game.
I mean,
I'm telling you right now,
that's
I'm
what
more
just makes that game
this
even more
Sparty game than I am next week.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't think Mark D'Antonio is going to have these Sparty boys ready to play? I mean, it's going to be a street fight with Sparty. You know it's going to be.
This is their bowl game. They're not going to a bowl game. This is it.
No. And it's at Sparty, and it's going to be the same weather as it was last year. It's going to be rain or snow mix and gale force winds.
Yep.
And
oh my God, you guys are getting snow already up there? Fuck.
Close. It's gonna be probably freezing rain or something during that game, and we always look like shit in that wind and rain. And
can't throw the ball.
It worries me because D'Antonio inspires those guys, gets the fucking chip on their fucking shoulder,
Half of them are from Ohio anyway.
Yeah, they don't got the horses to go with us, but frankly, D'Antonio's never had the horses. Maybe 2013 he had damn close to as good a team when he had some of those Pro Bowl
Calhoun,
or NFL corners and shit. Yeah. But he never has as good a team up and down as we do. But he's out coached Meyer on a couple of occasions now. That's
and the Big Ten title game. Yeah. I think he did out coach us.
You're right, but I'm gonna lean on. I appreciate all that Sparty's done. They gave
we also had Corey Brown playing safety in that game, which should have never been on the field.
Oh fuck! Don't even go back there.
But yeah, we didn't have the talent in 13 that we do across the board now.
Yeah, and I believe we have the added incentive of payback for whatever it's worth. I know that it was a year ago, but Herb knows how to play that mind game up, and he's going to be tweaking that shit all week long. They're gonna. He said he still hasn't been able to watch the video of that game. He never went back and rewatched it. He said that today in his call-in show. 0 times he went back and watched that tape. So it burns in his fucking ass, and he's gonna put it on his players and make it burn on them too.
It has to. I mean, because we had the chance. He knows the talent we had last year. We had back-to-back national championship caliber team. And I mean, he knows that was, and that derailed us.
Yep.
He knows he had something special last year, and
that was the year we were supposed to go to it. We were not supposed to be there in 2014.
We were hands down the best team. I mean, 15 guys got drafted, or what was it? It was a lot.
Yeah.
12 drafted, 15 in the NFL.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's right.
Yeah. Last year was supposed to be the year. 14, we got there early, and that was out of the blue. That was not expected.
That's the exact same thing that's happening right now.
Yep.
Enjoy.
Yep. Because we're definitely not going to win it next year with a more talented team, huh?
Oh no, we're going to win it next year too.
Okay.
We're going to win it this year like we did, and then next year it's redemption time for the team that didn't.
You get a trophy, and you get a trophy, and you get a trophy. That sounds good to me. I'm not fighting it.
This could be this 5-6 year run. It could be something really, really special.
It's all time.
We won the championship by smacking the shit out of Bama and Oregon when Oregon was supposed to be so good. We should have went in that thing. You don't think we? I mean, I don't know if we would have beat Alabama. They were good. I'm not going to be a prognosticator on that shit, but we would have done better than Michigan State. Everyone knows if that college football playoff is supposed to pick the best 4 teams. They knew Ohio State was one of the best 4 teams.
But because of our loss.
Yeah, but that's not supposed to be what they're choosing on. They are supposed their charge is to pick the best 4 teams in college football.
Hold on before we get to the CFP rankings and get nuts on that. Let's get our predictions out of the way for the Michigan State game. I skipped through a bunch of shit I wanted to cover, but let's do our predictions. Buckeyes are favored 21.5. Like you said, Sean, the weather looks like shit. Over-unders at 53. Henry, what do you got?
Nope, Jeff, I'm going to let you go because you had the same numbers as me last time. I'm going to let you go first.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
And then I'm going to tell you what's
21.5 is the spread. I don't think we cover. I think we win more like probably 14 or 17. So let's make it a. I think we get a field goal. I say let's make it a 24-10.
Okay. All right. And Henry, what do you got?
Well, Jeff, you were close. I got it down here. Good thing I let you go. I got it 27-10. I think our defense will be solid. They'll score somewhere in there, kick a field goal with that windmill kicker they got that really, God, I can't stand that guy. 27-10 Buckeyes.
Okay.
I could see us getting maybe getting stymied in the red zone one time and having to kick a chip shot field goal.
So you think we don't break them of their average right now on defense? They're allowing 360 a game. You don't think we crack that? Get up to 400, 500?
I think we'll be around that. I think that in that weather, the way I've seen us play in that weather, we've played a few games this year in that kind of weather. Probably not as cold as it's going to be Saturday. And then last year when we played in that weather, our offense has not proven to me that it can be effective in that type of weather. And until it is, I'm going to just, keep a low expectation on the offensive output. I think the defense will play lights out against the inferior offense in Michigan State.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
Sean, we're on the same page here, Sean, because I don't see them being able to do anything to us offensively, but if we can, if it's tough sledding throwing that ball, and JT, his balls flutter a lot, so I mean he's not, if his deep ball isn't hitting, I mean we might get one or two, or maybe one or two deep balls, but if we're not able to throw the ball down the field, I mean we're gonna have to run, and their front seven is still tough.
I'd be shocked if we attempt it.
Yeah, their D line's not that tough, actually. Malik McDowell may be out, who's the best guy on the fucking team.
That was the next thing I was going to ask. What is his status?
Yeah, they're keeping it up in the air. The last I read on the M Live stuff up here, D'Antonio won't say if he's going to be in there. The thing is, he's kind of been neutered all year. You put an extra guy on him and work the edges like Joe's been talking about all year. They don't have the linebackers to hunt it down like we do. You work the edges with Samuel and Dontre and whoever else you need to, and our offense could be effective if you can throw in some over the middle type passes. But if you call the same game you called last year and you let that safety come up and just basically right when the ball snapped, he's making a beeline, then we'll have trouble. It's I put this game should be an easy game for the Buckeyes. It's all on the O coordinators as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. I got you. I'm going. That. I got you. I'm going Buckeyes 35-3. I think we blow these fuckers out in their own house.
Keep that 3-3 rolling?
Yep. And I think the D plays lights out and continues to not let mediocre offense work their way into the end zone. And the offense for the Buckeyes is just going to plow, and they're going to break Michigan State's will on defense. I think this is going to be ugly from start to finish. The only thing that's going to keep Michigan State in the game mentally is an early score by them or a Buckeye turnover. And I'm not going to bank on that.
Which worries me as well.
I'm not going to bank on that.
In that kind of weather, but
yeah, the over. I don't take the over in this case because I don't expect anything out of Michigan State's offense, honestly. So,
yeah, and D'Antonio's going to have them still playing with some pride. They're not going to just fold and let us throw up 55.
Yeah, like I said, this is their bowl.
They've got good kids. Their O line and D lines have not been playing well. Yeah. But at the specialty position, I mean, they got this R.J. Shelton at receiver. They got that Donnie Corley kid that we're going after. It's a true freshman, but he looks pretty good. They got the L.J. Scott from Ohio, that running back. He looks pretty good.
He ran great against Michigan.
I like that Scott kid.
That's why I call them the best 3-win team in football. They've got some talent on that team. That secondary, there's a lot of decent recruits in there. I think their linebackers they've got a couple injuries, and then some of the so-called good ones like Bulla, I think, are way overrated.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, let's quickly hit some microscopes. Who do you got on offense, Henry?
I got Dontre.
Oh.
I think actually I had it split up with Dontre and Samuel. I think that Dontre needs to carry the ball a little bit more. I want Weber to be healthy for the Michigan game. I think hopefully we can have this game in the bag and Dontre can get some carries. And I feel like we're a little thin at running back. It's just the depth there right now with someone when you're probably going to need a workhorse late in the year is a little bit sketchy. And so my eyes on Dontre to have a big game. Hopefully they get him more involved. I mean, it's kind of not even on him. It's on the coaches to give him a chance again, but only if we get up. The other part, though, was on Samuel. I just need Samuel to go off because I've been talking so much shit about Samuel at my poker game that this motherfucker's – I just need to save face, and these guys ought to be like, fuck, Samuel's the man. I've been telling you bitches all year about Curtis fucking Samuel.
Yeah.
So this is my microscope on offense.
All right. Defense?
On D, I'm going to keep it going. I had the D-line last week, and I had it that I wanted to see them sack totals go up. This week, I am still on the D-line because they stepped up for me last week, but not for the sacks. I don't think there's going to be a ton of sacks because I don't think the conditions are going to be passing conditions. Tyler O'Connor's kind of a running guy. I want to see the D-line step up and fill the holes, let Raekwon and Baker run rampant, and hold Scott to under 100 yards.
Ooh, I like that. I think that's definitely doable. Jeffrey, what do you got for your microscope offense?
Probably as a whole, the offensive line. I want to see 350 on the ground this week, and some play action passing from with JT. Just those shotgun no back set, trying to chuck it deep, that won't fly. But weather and D'Antonio's defense, all that rolled into one. I want to see some play action passes where they start moving that safety up, putting 7, 8 in the box. Let's see some play action passes and try to get the ball down the field still. And I don't mean it doesn't have to be 50 yards in the air. Let's just try moving the ball. Make them respect us through the air. Give Michigan some kind of idea that we're not going to be able to just load up 8, 9 in the box because JT can still throw it in bad weather. Yeah. So offensive line, pass protection, getting off the ball, the whole deal.
Quickly on defense.
Where to begin? I don't. I want to see 20 guys make a tackle this week.
Oh, nice. That's a cutback from last week. So I don't like those expectations. Just kidding.
You got a better opponent this week.
This just in. Houston up 17-0 on Louisville at 9:07 p.m. on Thursday.
Fraud.
Get out of the top 10. Get the fuck out.
Was Levitard say the fraud chicken, the Kentucky Fried Chickens? Did you hear that shit?
I didn't hear that. That's a good one.
I like that. Overrated. Kentucky Fried Chicken.
It is.
Hey, Lamar Jackson can lose the Heisman tonight.
Yeah. Well, I don't know who's going to take it.
I think it's all been given to him. But if they get beat up tonight, ooh, no bueno.
Yeah.
For Mr. Lamar.
We'll see.
But
I don't know who's going to just take it.
These pricks always score like 30 in the fourth quarter, though.
Yeah.
They probably still win this.
17's not enough in the first half. So let's get into our quick closing segment here about the college football rankings. Obviously, we had major upsets of Clemson and the Wolves. This creates a major clusterfuck in the top 4, so you would have thought. Last year, kind of weird how we got bounced by losing to Michigan State late in the year. But this year, Clemson and both lose late and are still in the top 4. I need someone to explain this. I know I won't get a straight explanation, but this is fucked up.
Best thing I can say is there were still more undefeated teams at that point last year. There's a lot of 2-loss teams right now, and there's only one undefeated team still. So they had to put somebody there. Now I thought Louisville would be in over Michigan. I thought it would have been Clemson 3, Louisville 4. Mm-hmm. But
except the panel knows that Louisville sucks. And so
and it's all kind of showing his teeth tonight with Louisville struggling. Yeah. But up until tonight, Louisville hadn't given them any reason not to. They lost a close game to Clemson. So they if you say 1-loss teams with who's your loss? Well, we have a loss to a top 10 team. Louisville had a loss to a top 10 team. Michigan's loss was to a fucking Iowa. Right. I mean,
and there's
nobody else to put there.
You got to get into strength of schedule, which is supposedly one of the most important items in their assessment.
And none of it really matters or affects us. If we went out, I think the committee is going to be forced to put in 2 Big Ten teams if we went out. Yeah.
I agree.
Penn State or Wisconsin, and I think Wisconsin would wax Penn State in the Big Ten title.
I don't know if they're forced to, but Ohio State is being kept out. They will put Ohio State in there before the Big Ten champion. and I have no doubt about that in my mind. None.
I think maybe if Wisconsin were to end up beating Penn State, that's a 2-loss Wisconsin team that we beat, I could see them leaving Wisconsin out. But if Penn State beats Wisconsin and wins the Big Ten, I think for fear of their own safety, they're not going to keep Penn State out and put us in.
If Washington and Clemson went out, they're both in.
Not Washington. No, I disagree.
Think about this: Washington might have to play USC again for the Pac-12 title, and I don't see them beating USC. I watched that game. USC is head and shoulders better than them.
If they went out, they're in.
Washington?
Yeah.
You trying to tell me that they're better than Ohio State, Michigan, or Penn State, or Wisconsin?
I don't think the committee sees it that way, Sean.
I don't think the other three you mentioned after Ohio State are as good as Ohio State. But I think Washington's probably look, they're going to have the one loss, and then if they go on and win the Pac-10 championship and be a one-loss team, they're not going to put a 2-loss Big Ten champion in over a one-loss Pac-10 team. Right. It isn't
with Ohio State already being in the Big Ten.
If they were a 2-loss team, if everything was equal, then I could see Wisconsin or Penn State getting in. But I think Washington will lose, and I think it's very likely you could see it being Bama, Clemson, Ohio State, and the Big Ten champion, Wisconsin or Penn State.
Let me drop some knowledge on you guys here real quick. This is what has happened this year to teams in the top, the important teams that we're talking about. Okay, Louisville, obviously losing tonight. They nearly lost at Virginia earlier this year. Okay,
True.
Yes, Wisconsin nearly lost at home to 2-8 Georgia State. Georgia State, not University of Georgia. Okay, at home, nearly lost to them this year, and they already have 2 losses, including us. Clemson lost to Pitt. Okay, Penn State lost to Pitt, never even led in the fucking game. All right, so I don't see how some of these teams are even close to taking us out of the top 4. And actually,
I agree. I don't think Ohio State controls its destiny. We don't. To me, it's a blessing in disguise. Good. Let us not win the Big Ten. We don't have to play in that game and even worrying about having a loss, because if we were to lose the Big Ten championship, we would obviously be out. But if we just beat Michigan State and Michigan and we don't make the Big Ten championship game, we are in the playoff. There's no doubt we're in that playoff. There's not a thinking person that wouldn't think, Ohio State's one of the top 4 teams in the country.
No, and I agree with you. I mean, the committee seems to agree with us, too. I mean, having them as a solid number 2. It seemed like they said it was Bama, solid Ohio State guaranteed.
And we're going to play 3 in 2 weeks, in a week and a half. A week.
Yeah. So, you never know. You never know, man. Michigan State could get Penn State at the end of the year. They play the same weekend we play the Dicks up north. So, we might still make the Big Ten title game. And Wisconsin's going to be tough as shit.
I hope we don't.
Yeah,
it almost seems like an easier path, like you're talking, Henry, to not play in that. Yeah, I get you.
The way it looks, we should expect Penn State to win out and go on. But Penn State's not some powerhouse that I can just confidently say, oh, they're going to steamroll the rest of the season. They got Rutgers and Michigan State; those are 2 easy wins, and
Indiana's D shut them down.
And you're going to look at Ohio State's resume at the end of the year and say, against top 10 teams, they played 4 of them. They're 3-1, and the one that they lost was at their place, back-to-back home or away night games after the team's coming off a bye week.
Right.
There's no way if this committee is level-headed.
Yeah. The landscape has changed.
Ohio State's the only team that's even got a chance to beat Alabama.
Right, and the landscape has changed. The SEC is not the stronger conference anymore. That's not a conversation. Big Ten is where the power is now. And we discussed this weeks ago where we talked about the influx of money with the Big Ten Network, the sale of that, and all of the athletic departments putting money into the coaching, into the facilities, and it's paying off now. And if 2 Big Ten teams don't make it into the Final Four, I will be fucking disgusted, because no Pac-12 team belongs in there, and Clemson barely belongs in there.
And
barely.
Oklahoma's going to win the Big 12, and you can't put them in there because we already smoked them at their house.
Exactly.
Now should we be rooting for Oklahoma, because they play 9-1 West Virginia this week?
I don't care.
Yeah.
West Virginia, a one loss Big 12 champ. West Virginia.
They got no resume, man. They got no resume in that Big 12. You can't bring a Big 12 resume to a gunfight.
No, but if they got one loss and it's between them and a 2-loss, that because Ohio State will be in. But if it's between a 1-loss West Virginia that just won the Big 12 against a 2-loss Big 10 champion, I could see putting West Virginia in over Wisconsin or Penn State. I could.
That's tough, man. That's fucking tough. They got to beat somebody good, and I'm not sure Oklahoma's that.
They tried. They tried to schedule. They scheduled some teams, but they scheduled teams like BYU, and there was a big
BYU's decent,
but they're just not having a year that typically BYU's a 8-9 win team.
Yeah,
but
so I got to ask you
they're
guys.
probably going to be 8-4 this year, though, BYU, and I think they've lost their 4 games by a total of like 8 points. I mean, BYU give you a football game.
Yeah, I got to ask you guys quickly before we sign off here. Did you happen to witness Amateur Hour in Iowa City last Saturday night? I think it was a comedy club known as Kinnick Stadium. That was one of the worst football games I've seen 2 Big Ten teams play in quite a while. It's right up there with that Wisconsin-Michigan game earlier this year. Michigan was trying to lose the game, I think. I don't know if Harbaugh was playing like mind games with Ohio State fans or what. But Iowa went the creative route to get to 14 points. They didn't go the conventional way. They went touchdown, missed 2-point conversion, safety, 2 field goals, ball game.
That was pretty tricky how they got to the point
I
total.
thankfully had hockey on Saturday with my son, so I had to DVR the Buckeyes game, and I didn't. I was watching the Buckeyes game on my DVR when the Michigan game was on, so thankfully I was able to miss that.
Yeah, I went back and watched the 30-minute version, and that was 30 minutes longer than I wanted to see.
And Jabril Peppers, oh my God, he doesn't look like that good a football player. No, I know he is, but
not in that game. He wasn't.
He's not
peaking, man. I think that Heisman talk went to his head. Well, he won the September Heisman, and
just because he plays a lot of positions, that's all it is about.
Exactly. But he doesn't play any of them great.
Right.
Let me introduce you to Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, one thing well.
When Charles Woodson won the Heisman, he was the best player in college football.
He made
every
corner.
play.
Yeah.
He made every play, every big play in every big game.
Jabril might be that guy. The problem is when you make him line up at 14 different spots, you know what? Let him be that whatever star linebacker, or let him free roam and make plays on defense. He's exciting. He's good. And then maybe have him return in punts, but you got him doing all this stuff. He's almost like a gimmick. It's like, run him out there.
Yeah. Let him do one thing well.
Harbaugh's a little too smart for his own good, I think.
Yeah, he overthinks things, and I believe he's wearing this kid out, just like the whole team, when they want to keep pounding people late into games and putting up 70 on Maryland and Rutgers. I think you're wearing your fucking team out long term. Call me crazy.
And did you realize that I looked at their two deep? Mm-hmm. They're losing 16 or 17 starters, I think.
Oh yeah, the next 2 years for them are fucked. They are in big trouble.
There's top 13 tacklers on the team are all gone after this year.
Yep. Their O-line screwed. They're in big trouble, and they keep getting these transfers at quarterback, and they're not developing anybody young.
No, that Spate, he's only a sophomore. He'll be back. He's solid. That'll be their, what they build it.
Yeah, Spate and a guard are the only two returning on offense.
Don't they got a bunch of running backs? I mean, none of them I don't think are any good, but they got a bunch of decent dudes.
The top two are gone. I don't know.
Well,
are they really? Top two are gone?
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, they're in big trouble in the next 2 years, man. They're going to be weak as fuck. I wanted to touch on these quick Vegas rankings of the college football top 5, top 6, whatever. Just wanted to let you guys know that. So Alabama's number 1 in both Vegas and college football rankings. Ohio State's number 2 in both. But then number 3, according to the Vegas rankings, is LSU. And they are 16 in college football rankings.
Well, because they held Alabama to 10 points.
Right. And then you got Louisville at number 4.
That's the stupidest shit I ever heard of.
Well, they're looking at opponents that would play in that Final Four. Michigan, they got at number 6.
Like you're talking about the best teams, the teams that have the most chance of beating Alabama.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it's pretty much what they're wording, right? Like LSU's got the second best chance behind Ohio State.
Right.
Pretty much, yeah. Louisville because of their quarterback, I could see that. Michigan because of their defense, and Clemson's probably up there too because of Deshaun Watson and what they did last year. Yeah. But Deshaun Watson last year is not Deshaun Watson this year. He's got 13 picks. He's like third most in the country.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson last week is not Lamar Jackson this week. It's 24.
Nope. That's enough. Poor bastards.
So I would love to get a rematch with Clemson though. I think we owe them one from that Orange Bowl, and then bring on Bama and see what we're made of. That's how I would love to see us go through Clemson and then Bama just to
I mean the Five brothers, it would be beating Alabama in the national championship for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got to stay at 2 or 3, and that will set that shit up nicely. I think we smoke whoever is 2 or 3 opposite us. So can't wait. This is boiling down to a huge end of the season. You guys got to notice we only got 9 games left of the regular season. 9 days, I'm sorry. 9 days left of regular season play. And we may not see a Big Ten title game. So we could have 9 more days of enjoying the season and then be off for a month and a half.
Just to throw something else there. So what do you think? Because I just told you, I mean, I sincerely believe that Ohio State does not need the Big Ten to get in the playoff. But do you think that the players want to win the Big Ten and go and play in that game, or would rather have the time off? What do you think the players actually would think on something like that? I mean, I know you want to win it, but the CFP and getting healthy is even more important. I just wonder what those guys are thinking.
Well, I don't think the players are watching. I don't know if the players are really following the playoff rankings and shit. Well, I know Louisville's players are.
I know they are. Yeah, I'm sure they are. And Herb's been struggling with how to talk about it with the players as a team. He again today was not sure how to broach the subject with the players. It's like I think you just stick with your goals. Like your goal at the beginning of the season is to win the Big Ten. And if you don't go there, then so be it. You go to the bowl game or whatever game is next. That's your next mission.
I mean, it's out of their hands. They just got to win out. And
that whole thing. Control what you can control.
Yeah.
Everything will take care of itself if you control what you can. Laser focus. Next game, just Michigan State. Win this game.
Yeah.
Then move on to the next one. Win that one and see where you go.
Because none of it matters if you don't.
Right, and obviously he makes it. That's how he's. I'm sure that's how he's. All these coaches are working it. Look, nothing's going to matter if we don't win this game coming up. If we don't win this, then none of it. Then nothing's going to make sense, or nothing's going to matter. So, focus on the task at hand. That, and he's done a great job at getting our team to do that. It seems all year. Whereas I thought this young team would easily kind of mentally stray off. He's kept them focused. So, yep. I mean, we bounced back strong right after Penn State because I think he focused everybody on control what you can control. We'll be all right in the end. Mm-hmm. So, some teams like Louisville, they're all shook up. You see, there was like 9 guys were blasting Twitter Tuesday night after the rankings came out.
Yeah. It's 31.
Oh my God! Delete. Henry, you frog me.
Sorry.
31-0. Second quarter.
Oh my God! I can't wait to. I gotta go off the phone and watch it.
Yeah,
I know. It's
over.
Right.
Yeah, this is bad news for Louisville. I'll let you know when I give a shit. All right, boys. Way to bring the heat this week. I love the recap, and I love the punch in the face to Sparty. And then kick some knowledge on the old CFP playoff rankings.
Yeah, we owe these fucking Spartans, man. We got to get these motherfuckers.
This is payback.
We owe
payback is a motherfucker, especially in your own house.
I need this, boys. I need it.
Yeah. So let's go get them, Buckeye Nation. You know what we got. I'm bringing Jeff to you live from Orlando, Florida. Thanks for joining us,
Jeff.
Yes,
sir.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
All righty.
Give us some feedback, Buckeye Nation.
Yeah,
let us know which one of us sucks.
Hit up Jeff on his Twitter account. What are you, Jay Warwick all day?
Jay Warwick all day.
All right.
Hit me up.
Henry, up there behind the wall, will never have a Twitter account.
No, sir.
We appreciate you bringing the knowledge from that toilet up north.
Fuck yeah, let's go, Buckeyes.
All right. We appreciate that. And you know the drill, Buckeye fans. Hit us up, the Buckeye Cast, on all the social media networks. The website, thebuckeyecast.com. Give us some feedback. Hit us up on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud. You know the shit. Give us something. We can't get better if we don't hear anything.
Let's give Sparty a courtesy flush this weekend.
Oh, whoosh! All right. Appreciate you guys.
All right.
Talk to you next week. All right, man.
It's fun.